So, I'm 36 years old. And throughout my life, I've seen the ending, kind of, or the middle of the crack era. I've seen the beginning, the middle, and the right now of the opiate pandemic. Yeah, I said pandemic. Opiate pandemic. Because that's what I believe it is. And I'm not saying something happened that should be happening. With this opiate pandemic, I think we all know somebody who passed away from this. So, with that being said, that somebody has kids. That somebody has children. That don't have a parent anymore. That died from drugs. They believe that they chose drugs over them. The children believe this. That's not it. We're going to take it back. So when I was about 13, 14 years old, we're going back, 98, 99. Alright, yeah, people smoked crack. They did. People did heroin. They did. I mean, rest in peace, my man Mike D'Angelo, Noli. You know who. He was the first boy I know that was smoking crack. And, you know, it just turned him to a different person. And he had something, a tumor in his brain. And he wound up passing away from that. But he was the first real addict I knew. And then, you know, some people that were older than me on my street started, you know, dibbling and dabbling and doing their 1-2 thing. So I seen all that. I seen my OG turn the block out and bring it around. You feel me? And I seen my mom going to these places. When I was younger, I didn't know exactly what was going on. Like I said, if you didn't subscribe already, subscribe, like, do what you gotta do. Support the podcast, man, because we support you guys. So, I didn't know what was going on at that time, but as I got older and I put the pieces to the puzzle together, like, I remember asking Mom, like, yo, why are we knocking at this lady's door for so long early in the morning? And she was like, oh, she don't have an alarm clock. I'm on her alarm clock. This is before cell phones and all that. We're going back probably like 89. But I remember these things. And I can't help but think, do these things have something to do with the reason my life turned out the way it did? Now, with my life, I thank my mom every single day. Because when I was in kindergarten, she picked me, my sister up, and she went to Jersey with us. And she put us in better schools, in a better area. And even though we slept in a room together, all three of us were in one room, not a one room apartment, 1 bedroom apartment. We were in one room in my aunt and uncle's basement over in Jersey. And my mom stayed clean through all the years that, you know, I would have got clowned for being around the hood in this situation, you know. People in the hood do. But so my mom got away from all that. A lot of people in the hood don't even know who my mom is because she stayed over in Jersey for a while. But we'll get to more of my story another time. So this podcast is about the kids that grew up during the opiate pandemic that lost their parent, that lost their guidance, that lost their support, that lost their comfort, that lost their ability to trust somebody older than them, that lost their ability for a female to trust a man that's older than them. It makes me shake because it just gets me so, I don't even know the word, it just gets me so, I don't know the word, but it gets me motivated to help people and let people know what's going on out here, because it's more than just bars and beats. Yeah, I love making music. That's what I do. Beats by the Kilo Productions. Podcasts, music productions, whatever. But these podcasts are doing something for the people right now. They're giving platforms for people to listen to things that are going on in people's lives and that went on in people's lives before this. And let's get this right. This platform isn't for stars, people that already made it. I mean, but it is for people that already made it in different ways. Now, this platform is to show people how to live. A lot of people, including myself, growing up, because Pops was working. He was, and I thank him for that, because right now, you know, he's in a better financial state. You know, it could be worse with him, and I definitely thank him for that, for working hard. But Mom's was working also, but then came my sister, who was 8 years older than me. She was watching me, babysitting me for years. So that's how music got incorporated into my life, because you know she was everything to me, and you know she would bring her boyfriends around, and they might leave their little Dr. Dre tape or Wu-Tang tape, or she might take it off them or dub it back then, and she'd leave it at home, and as soon as she leave out the house, I'm right on it, listening to it. So that's where I get my musical inspiration from. But the inspiration for this podcast comes from August 18th, 2021. August 18th. So far in my life, that was the worst day of my life. Financially, I had money. I wasn't homeless like I was at one point. I wasn't in prison. I wasn't facing a charge. But opiates did something to me. Indirectly. They took my older sister. Now, I don't know how many people out there got brothers or sisters, but me and my sister had a relationship to where as though it was just so real. We knew what we were getting with each other. Like, even if, you know, we didn't like something about each other, oh well, we was getting that. And my sister, like I said, was 8 years older than me. And I can't imagine being 8 years old and having a new sibling come in out of nowhere. Especially, was that 5 years before the divorce? 4 years before the divorce? So, a month before I was born, my grandma died. I'll tell more of that story, but my sister was under my grandma's wing, being that my mom had my sister when she was only 15. And back then, yeah, 15. Back then, when, you had your first kid, the grandma would, give me that baby, you know how that goes. Plus, it was, my mom's first, granddaughter, grandchild, period. And she died, my mama, exactly a month before I was born. And I'm going to tell that story on another episode. But I say that to say, my sister wasn't right after that. So now she's 8 years old. 7, going on 8. And now the drugs come into play. And she's getting older. Through her early years, she has self-esteem issues, like a lot of females. But as she got older, she grew into herself, and she was so beautiful. But anyway, as she was getting older, I witnessed that whole change from when she was 13 to 48. So not 48. What am I saying? However old she was when she passed. I don't want to do the math. 42. But it's just like she taught me things that can't be taught in a classroom or anywhere else. They can only be taught on places like this, on the podcast. Like, she taught me about women. She always had her friends around. And since she was beautiful, beautiful girls roll with beautiful girls. So there would be a lot of beautiful girls around all the time, and my sister had to babysit me. So pretty much, I had to listen to everything. So I'm peeping game on how these girls are acting, and this taught me how to interact with females. So sis definitely taught me that. At the same time, they're listening to the best music that's out. Because, females, whatever they're listening to, the dudes are listening to. Because dudes is trying to bag females. So, pretty much, if the females spot it, the guy got it. So, as she grew older, I grew older, and I watched her smoke weed and get into that stage, and at a certain point, we would have house parties in the house all the time, and I'm talking about crazy house parties, like none other, like all out, 2 kegs in the backyard of a city house in Philadelphia on 29th and Wharton, and we would call them gangster parties. Not me. I was 7 years old. I was a chump. I couldn't, I was a chump. But I was in there And so now I'm rolling with the flyers dudes in the neighborhood because they're in my house every weekend having gangster parties where the music would just be crazy. My dad would be at the bar, and I mean, the setup would just be crazy. And so many people would be in my house. It would be like my friends, you know, they were younger. They were my age, of course. So, well, most of them were maybe even had a couple years on me, but they weren't allowed in. You see what I'm saying? But I was. So I was the anchor to, a lot of my homies getting in, and just being around that situation of so young, 8, 9 years old. Yeah, about 8, 9 years old. My sister was about 16, 17. So yeah, definitely 8, 9 years old. I'm in a situation where all weekend it's a party, cause alright, I'm going to school in Jersey, first grade, second grade, third grade, all that. But on the weekends, pops is coming and picking me and my sister up. But he's going to the bar. We go get something to eat, and after that, he's going to the bar. It's to Sam's on 30th and Wharton. R.I.P. to that. I mean, that place been there for years, man. I wish somebody would have bought that. But R.I.P. to Sam's Cafe on the 30th and Wharton. My dad would be in there, or 28th and Dickinson in the Arcadia Club. R.I.P. to that too. So we would have these gangster parties, and the thoroughest people from the hoods would be in there. So this is the stuff that I seen. This is the stuff that I wanted to be. I seen Fat Mike pulling up in the Grand Cherokee with 15s in that junk. Boom, boom, boom. Just shit rattling the whole block. Playing that Bone Thugs and Harmony, Easy E or something like that. Like, I feel that moment. And being so young and just so impressionable. And just being like, that is who I'm going to be. What does he do? How does he get money? Because I know my pop's a mailman. Or my pop works down the Navy Yard. That's cool. I know my pops gives me $20 and tells me, I can go to the movies with my friends when I'm 8 years old. That's cool. But the whole thing is, I wasn't learning business. I wasn't learning, I wasn't even learning like sports or nothing. The sports that I was learning, I was getting taught by whoever was at the park or whatever. Because I ain't feel like being in the house no more. Because, music gets crazy, crazy times. And then my sister wound up getting a boyfriend over there in Jersey. And she wound up staying over there. And after school, she'd babysit me and all that. So we're going to get into that another time. But I say all that to say, people go through different things, and it makes you who you are. Now, if I didn't go through them crazy times, I don't know if music would be in my DNA as much as it is. But if I didn't go through them crazy times, I don't know if drugs would be in my DNA as much as they are. See, in life, you just gotta take the good with the bad, balance it out, and just keep on moving. You can't complain. There's no sense. It ain't gonna get you nowhere. just gonna make you look stupid. And you could be what you wanna be. But try to be something that not everybody's being right now. Try to go left when everybody else is going right. You know? Electricians. Man, you know how much the electricians made that put the wiring in these studios? We got 10,000 square feet in here. You know how much them electricians made? And their union? Come on, man. There's so many other jobs out there that are obtainable for people with records. Working for the water company or the gas company, PGW. And that's it. We're out. It's Learn As You Grow podcast. We're out on that note. You can be what you want to be. Just keep on believing. You know.